Ohio State 37, Ohio 9. The numbers on the scoreboard tell a story of dominance, a lopsided victory that would make any casual fan think the Buckeyes rolled to an easy win. But as anyone who watched the game knows, the reality was far more complicated. On paper, it's another impressive result for the nation's top-ranked team, a scoreline that keeps Ohio State undefeated and on track for their championship ambitions. The players celebrated, the crowd cheered, and the record books will show a comfortable win. But the scoreboard didn't tell the whole story. Beneath the surface, there were cracks, moments of uncertainty, frustration, and missed opportunities that left fans and coaches alike with more questions than answers. This wasn't a performance worthy of defending national champions. The energy was off, the execution inconsistent, and the swagger that defined last year's team seemed to be missing for long stretches of the game. The Buckeyes are 3-0, but their non-conference run has been rocky. Each week the expectation is for Ohio State to dominate, but instead they've looked vulnerable, especially against teams they were expected to handle with ease. This final tune-up before Big Ten play felt more like a warning than a warm-up. The coaching staff looked anxious, the players tense, and the sense of urgency was palpable from the opening kickoff. After a sluggish start, Ohio State led just 3-0 after the first quarter and 13-3 at halftime. The offense sputtered, unable to find rhythm, while the defense gave up big plays that kept the game uncomfortably close. The Bobcats pulled within 4 early in the third, and only then did the Buckeyes finally wake up, scoring 24 unanswered points. It was a burst of energy that reminded everyone of their potential, but it also begged the question, why did it take so long? The late surge saved them from embarrassment, but the struggles against a heavy underdog linger. Fans in the stands were relieved but also uneasy, knowing that tougher challenges lie ahead. Which team is the real Ohio State? The one that beat Texas on a national stage, or the one that struggled to put away Ohio at home? The contrast is stark, and the answer isn't clear. As the Buckeyes head into their bye week, the coaching staff has plenty to fix. From missed assignments to lackluster execution, every detail will be under the microscope as they prepare for the grind of conference play. This win was a reminder. Talent alone isn't enough. The margin for error shrinks as the season goes on, and every opponent will be looking for weaknesses to exploit. Execution and consistency matter, especially with the Big Ten looming. The Buckeyes have the talent, but they need to find their identity and play with the discipline and focus that championship teams demand. The final score brought relief, but the performance was a wake-up call. For the fans, for the coaches, and for the players themselves, it's clear that there's work to be done if this team wants to live up to its potential. The Buckeyes have potential, but they're far from a finished product. With the season just beginning to heat up, the biggest question remains. Can Ohio State turn these warning signs into fuel for a championship run, or will these early struggles define their season? The biggest frustration for Ohio State fans and coaches this season? It's the offense's inability to finish drives with authority, especially when it matters most. Time and again, the Buckeyes have moved the ball impressively between the 20s, only to stall out in the red zone, coming up short when the end zone is within reach. Field goals instead of touchdowns have kept lesser opponents in games and put unnecessary pressure on the defense to bail out the offense. This isn't a new problem for Ohio State, but it's one that's become more glaring as the stakes get higher. If the Buckeyes want to compete for championships, this red zone inefficiency must be solved, fast. The offense has shown flashes of brilliance, explosive plays, highlight reel catches, and moments where everything clicks. But those moments are too often followed by missed opportunities, dropped passes, or conservative play calling that stalls momentum, especially against better opponents. With so much talent on the roster, settling for 3 points inside the 20-yard line feels like a letdown. The fans know it, the players feel it, and the coaches see it on the scoreboard. The red zone struggles are a complex puzzle. Is it the play calling that's too predictable? Is it a lack of execution from the players? Or is it a combination of both? With nerves and pressure mounting as the field shrinks, the offensive line, so dominant in open field, hasn't consistently imposed its will in short yardage. Defenses seem to anticipate the play calls, stuffing runs and forcing hurried throws. Against elite Big Ten defenses, these missed opportunities aren't just frustrating, they're costly. 1 or 2 stalled drives can be the difference between a win and a season-altering loss. That's why fixing the red zone must be the top priority during the bye week. Coaches are breaking down film, searching for answers, and players are drilling the details: route timing, blocking assignments, and decision-making under pressure. For a team with championship hopes, turning field goals into touchdowns is non-negotiable. The margin for error is razor-thin, and the best teams find ways to finish drives. The talent is there. Now it's time for the execution, the confidence, and the killer instinct to catch up. The next few weeks will reveal if this offense can finally find its edge. At the center of the offensive puzzle quarterback Juliansayin and coordinator Brian Hartline. Sayin, a true sophomore, has shown flashes but needs more consistency, especially in the red zone. Hartline, in his first year calling plays, is still finding his rhythm. The offense lacks a clear identity and flow through 3 games. Their partnership is a work in progress. Trust and chemistry take time. The bye week is a chance to iron out communication and strategy. The Big Ten won't be forgiving. The margin for error is shrinking. Sayin and Hartline have enormous potential, but must deliver under pressure. If they find their groove, this offense could be special. For now, they carry the weight of expectation and must prove they can deliver. The clock is ticking. While the offense searches for answers, the defense has been Ohio State's anchor. Despite losing 8 starters, the unit hasn't missed a beat. The defense has been consistent, disciplined, and effective, especially in key moments. Against Ohio, they held the Bobcats to 9 points and no touchdowns. New starters have stepped up, showing the depth and development of the program. Defensive coordinator Jim Knowles deserves credit for trusting his players and maintaining a complex scheme. The defense's strong play gives the offense time to find itself. If this level continues, Ohio State's outlook changes dramatically. A championship defense paired with a high-potential offense is a dangerous combination. The defense is no longer a question mark. It's a strength. Now the offense must catch up. Special teams remain a persistent problem for Ohio State. The issues aren't catastrophic, but the lack of reliability is a red flag. Kicking and coverage have been inconsistent, and the return game lacks explosiveness. These small mistakes add up, especially in close games. For a program with so much talent, special teams' underperformance is puzzling. In the Big Ten, a blocked punt or missed field goal can be the difference. The bye week must be used to drill fundamentals and find committed players for these roles. Championship teams can't afford to be average in this phase. Special teams must become an asset, not a liability. Opponents will look to exploit this weakness if it lingers. Amid offensive concerns, sophomore running back Bojackson is emerging as a bright spot. His performance against Ohio showed power, vision, and speed, turning short gains into big plays. Jackson's growth adds a crucial dimension to the offense, easing pressure on the passing game. A strong running game keeps defenses honest and opens up play action. If Jackson becomes a true workhorse, the offense gains much-needed balance. The coaching staff should build around his strengths and get him involved early. His physical style suits Big Ten play and could help avoid slow starts. As the passing game finds its footing, the Buckeyes may need to lean on Jackson. His emergence is a reason for optimism. The future of the offense could run through him. For Ryan Day, the narrow escape against Ohio isn't just another win. It's a pivotal moment that will test his leadership and the resilience of his team. The Buckeyes, a program built on high expectations and championship aspirations, suddenly found themselves in a dogfight against an underdog opponent. For Day, this is more than a result on the scoreboard. It's a wake-up call that demands reflection and action. He'll use this close call as a teaching moment, a vivid reminder to his players and staff that no opponent can be taken lightly, no matter the odds. Every game is an opportunity to prove themselves, and every mistake is a lesson waiting to be learned. The game exposed several areas of concern: red zone inefficiency, inconsistent quarterback play, and special teams breakdowns that nearly cost them dearly. These aren't just minor hiccups. They're issues that could derail a season if left unaddressed. In some ways, it's easier for a coach to demand improvement after a scare like this than after a comfortable blowout. The sting of a close call lingers, fueling motivation and sharpening focus in the days that follow. But the real question remains: is this just a one-off blip, or does it hint at deeper, more systemic problems within the team? Are these cracks in the foundation, or simply growing pains for a squad still finding its identity? The pressure is now squarely on Day and his coaching staff to prove that these are fixable mistakes. issues that can be corrected with hard work and attention to detail, not symptoms of a larger problem that could haunt them all season. The next few weeks will be crucial. They'll reveal whether this game was a valuable lesson that sparks growth or an early warning sign of trouble ahead. Every practice, every meeting, every snap will matter more than ever. Day must get both the offense and special teams back on track, and he'll need to do it quickly, with tougher opponents looming on the schedule. The win over Ohio is a crossroads for this team, a moment that could become a catalyst for growth and unity, or the first visible crack in what they hope is a championship foundation. How the Buckeyes respond, both on and off the field, will define the rest of their season. Will they rally together, or let doubt creep in? The true character of this team, and its coach, will soon be revealed, as the season's biggest challenges still lie ahead. The bye week comes at the perfect time for Ohio State. Their next test? A road trip to Washington to open Big Ten play. Husky Stadium is one of college football's toughest environments. Washington will be eager to make a statement against the defending champs. The Huskies will try to exploit the same weaknesses Ohio exposed. This game will test Ohio State's composure, execution, and mental toughness. A strong performance could silence doubts. A struggle would amplify them. The stakes are high. This is a critical measuring stick for the Buckeyes. The next 2 weeks of preparation may define their season. The 2025 Buckeyes are a team of immense potential and real pitfalls. The defense is elite, and the offense is loaded with talent. If Hartline and Sayin unlock the offense, Ohio State could be unstoppable. But repeating as champions requires more than talent. The offense must be ruthless in the red zone, and special teams must improve. The struggles against Ohio were a reminder. Inconsistency and mistakes can derail a season. In the Big Ten, the margin for error is razor thin. The coming weeks will define this team's legacy. Every game is now a playoff game. The potential for a dynasty is real, but potential alone isn't enough. Execution, focus, and relentless improvement separate champions from contenders. The Buckeyes have the talent. Now, they must prove they have the heart and discipline to finish the job.